garbage card UFC London was. I don't know if Dana just makes them this bad because it makes us appreciate the gems that we're about to get this next Saturday, but woof, that was a snooze fest. I didn't do too great either, but that's beside the point. Meatball Molly did not listen to my advice and she rolled into that armbar. What are you doing? Then Paul Craig, he was just feeling the home vibes. Can't fault him for that. Good job, Paul. However, I am ready for UFC 291. It is going to be a stacked card, and that's why I cannot wait to get into a few fights that I am super anxious for. Okay, so this first one is really going to tug at my heartstrings because I love Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is a legend in this sport. However, this may be a make or break fight for him because he's lost the last 5 fights that he's had. Now, I will say these have been great fights. He has lost either by decision or it's gone into title rounds. So it's not that he's been knocked out in the first, couple of minutes or he's been really sloppy. He's been giving it his all. No one can take that away from him. However, to stay in the UFC, you kind of need to win. So this is really important for Tony this Saturday in Salt Lake City. So hopefully he can actually pull out a win here. Now, it's going to be Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. Both of these guys have a lot of experience, but like I was saying, the last 5 fights that Tony has fought and lost were all by crazy opponents that are super skillful. Nate Diaz, Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, all of these names, Charles Oliveira. These are amazing fighters that I think Bobby would have lost against too if he were fighting them. So if you look at their resume, I don't think it's even. Tony just seems to be well-rounded. Now, he does win about half of his fights by TKO, so that's going to be what he's going for. He does have a concrete chin, though, and that's going to help him against Bobby for sure. He also has a 5-inch reach advantage, again, going to help him while he's trying to knock Bobby out, which it may happen. With all of this, I'm trying to keep my heart out of it, but with this one, I just can't. I'm hoping that Tony realizes how important this fight is and that he can do it. You can beat Bobby, Tony, so you know what? Give me Tony Ferguson. Let's go. Another interesting one is Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. Now, these two, they're similar when it comes to height and reach. Their age is a little different. Jan's 40, Alex is 36. Jan has literally been beaten up a little bit longer than Alex. He has way more experience than Alex does, that's for sure. But Alex, he's kind of been a one-trick pony. 86% of his fights, he's won by knockout. Jan, it's pretty evenly distributed on how he's won his battles. So I know Alex has been training and trying to change up his skill set. He's also been training with Sean Strickland, and we know that Sean Strickland is very successful with how he does things, but is that going to translate for Alex? Jan, he's no stranger to being a champ, and I think he wants to be another one again. So with all of that, I think is really going to fuel him in this fight, especially he doesn't want Alex coming into a division closer to his and then showing him up. So I think Jan's really going to have a lot to prove. Jan is just so skillful that I like you, Alex, but I'm sticking with Jan with this one. And then we have our main event, Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. These two, they might as well be identical with just different names. These fighters win the same way. They fought the same guys, almost had the same turnout with the same guys. This is going to be straight fire. I cannot wait to see this rematch. Now, Dustin beat Justin back in 2018 by KO in the 4th round. These two guys, though, can take so much abuse, and they're also really skillful. They got a lot of fire in them. They got that dog in them, that's for sure. This one really is going to come out with, who's got the most heart? Maybe who's not going to be sloppy and let something happen that maybe they weren't expecting. They got to stay on their guard with this one because Justin's really going to try to come out and get some redemption for his L back in 2018. and Dustin's gonna want to prove that he's still better than Justin. So I don't know. This really can be a toss-up, but I'm feeling in my gut that Dustin is going to come out with another win here. He also has a 2-inch reach advantage. That may or may not help him. I don't know. It's really whoever's got a lot of heart in this one. I am very excited for this rematch. Let me know what you think, though. Is there another fight that I didn't mention that you are super excited for with 291 in Salt Lake City? How did you think UFC London was? Gosh, it was so bad. You don't even need to tell me. But you know what? Leave a comment, like, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter. I love watching these fights and seeing what you think. We can talk about them as they happen. I will absolutely be watching every single one of these, starting with the early prelims, main card. I don't care if it goes until 2 a.m. I'm here, so let's talk about it. But first off, let's get it. Knockout blow!